Early on Saturday morning, a large crowd of tearful mourners have already gathered at Diogo Jota's hometown, Gondomar in Portugal, before the funeral ceremony started at 10 a.m. at the Resurrection Church Chapel, where the burial ceremony is being jointly held for the Liverpool football player, Diogo Jota, and his brother, Silva, who lost their lives in a car accident in Spain while driving his Lamborghini vehicle along the highway in Cernadilla, Zamora, Spain. Barely 10 days he married his high school classmate, Rute Cardoso, in Porto on Sunday, June 22, after a 13-year relationship and 3 children together. Local media and residents at the funeral ceremony reported that the players and technical staff of Liverpool have already arrived at the Resurrection Chapel in Gondomar for the funeral of the Liverpool forward, Diogo Jota, and his brother, Silva. The Liverpool squad, as seen in early videos and photographs from the funeral led by Virgil van Dijk and Andy Robertson, have arrived in Gondomar as Virgil van Dijk carries flower design of number 20 for Diogo Jota and Andy Robertson carries the number 30 for Diogo's brother, Silva. Hundreds of mourners lined the streets of Gondomar to pay their final respects to fallen Liverpool star Diogo Jota at the city's chapel. Newly appointed manager Arne Slot was also among those in attendance, leading the group as they approached the church. Reuters had on Friday reported that hundreds of residents of Gondomar in northern Portugal filed past the bodies of former Liverpool footballer Diogo Jota and his brother Silva at a chapel in their hometown on Friday, after the deaths in a car crash in Spain. Adding, at an earlier private wake, Prime Minister Luís Montenegro, FC Porto President André Villas-Boas, Portuguese Football Federation President Pedro Proença, and Jota's longtime agent Jorge Mendes joined the brothers' family, including Jota's wife Rute Cardoso, who had married the footballer just weeks earlier. Cristiano Ronaldo, who Liverpool authorities said would not be attending the funeral ceremony, had on Thursday in a tweet sympathized with the bereaved and said, "It doesn't make sense. Just now we were together in the national team. Just now you had gotten married. To your family, your wife, and your children, I send my condolences and wish them all the strength in the world. I know you will always be with them. Rest in peace, Diogo and Andre. We will all miss you." Portugal's President Marcelo Rebelo de Sousa, senior Liverpool Football Club officials, and well-known football figures, including Manchester United player Diogo Dalot, former Liverpool player Fabinho, and Portugal and RB Leipzig player Silva, attended the wake on Friday. Tributes were laid at Anfield Stadium following the tragic passing of Diogo Jota and his brother Silva. In a press statement published on its website, Liverpool Football Club said it opened physical and digital books of condolence, following the devastating passing of Diogo Jota and his brother Silva. Supporters and members of the public can sign the physical book, which will be placed in the Anfield Road stand reception area at Anfield during the following hours. Thursday, July 3, 5 p.m. United States, U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, has filed a lawsuit against a Nigeria citizen, Eheremene Bokan, for allegedly defrauding the U.S. President, Donald Trump, and his vice, J.D. Vance, the sum of 460 million nairas by thus sending fake email messages to U.S. citizens in December 2024 to contribute and help to fund the presidential inauguration ceremony of Trump and Vance. This notwithstanding, Nigeria government has shown great commitment in helping the United States and other countries in the world recover funds stolen by Nigerians from foreigners, as it was evidenced in one of such occasions earlier this year when the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, handed over billions of naira equivalent to Charles Smith, the legal attaché of the U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, at the Embassy of the United States in Nigeria, and representatives of other countries whose citizens were victims of cybercrimes committed by Nigerians, while the EFCC chairman, Ola Olakayode, also used the occasion of the handing over ceremony to call and appeal to foreign countries to always help recover and restitute Nigerians who are victims of fraud committed by citizens of other countries. People's Gazette News Media reported that the court documents, as seen by the media, the Federal Bureau of Investigation filed a civil forfeiture complaint to seize property belonging to Lagos-based, suspected, fraudster, Ehereman Agbokan for, allegedly, stealing more than 460 million naira in funds meant for US President Donald Trump's 2025 inauguration. The FBI is also actively pursuing an arrest warrant for Mr. Agbokan in connection with a cryptocurrency fraud and money laundering scheme that targeted a donor intending to contribute to the Trump-Vance inaugural committee. According to legal filings seen by People's Gazette, Mr. Agbokan and his co-conspirators carried out a sophisticated fraudulent operation using the notorious business email compromise scheme to trick their victims into sending money to cryptocurrency accounts belonging to them. In the weeks leading up to the inauguration on January 20, 2025, the FBI reported that fraudsters created several fake email addresses to mimic the legitimate ones used for the ceremony, which they sent to dozens of people, requesting donations for Mr. Trump's swearing-in ceremony. On December 26, 2024, one of these fake emails, with the address at t47inaugural.com, was sent to a victim to mimic at t47inaugural.com, the official email of the co-chair of the Trump-Vance inaugural committee, Steve Witkoff. The victim subsequently sent 250,300 USDT to the criminals. The 250,300 USDT is estimated to be worth over 400 million naira at the current black market rate. Within days of receiving the money, the perpetrators immediately dispersed 215,000 USDT to several crypto wallets before the FBI caught wind of the scam and requested crypto operator Tether to freeze the accounts, which the company voluntarily adhered to on December 31st, court documents showed. Following the scam, Nigeria President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has joined millions of sports lovers in Nigeria and across the globe to mourn the death of ex-Super Eagles iconic goalkeeper, Peter Rufai, fondly called Dodomayana, with the president describing the football legend as a great patriotic citizen who hailed from a royal family and brushed aside the glamour and privileges of a royal family to become one of the first set of professional football players in Nigeria and one of the patriotic sportsmen who wrote the names in gold in the annals of sports in Nigeria and Africa continent in general. According to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in a press release issued by the presidential spokesperson, Bayo Onanuga, and made available soon after the death of Peter Rufai was announced on Thursday evening, Peter Rufai was an inimitable goalkeeper. In quotes, the statement reads, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu expresses great sadness at the passing of legendary Super Eagles goalkeeper Peter Rufai, who was 61. The president condoles with the Rufai family, friends, and football enthusiasts on the demise of the inimitable goalkeeper fondly called Dodomayana by his numerous fans and football lovers all over Nigeria. President Tinubu notes that Peter Rufai would be remembered as one of those patriotic sportsmen who wrote the names in gold in the sporting annals of Nigeria and the African continent. I recall with fond memories the heroic contributions of Peter Rufai in the historic victory of the Super Eagles at the 1994 edition of the Africa Cup of Nations in Tunisia as the first-choice goalkeeper, followed up with Nigeria's equally epoch-making first appearance at the FIFA World Cup competition, dubbed USA, 94. Rufai was also a strong member of the team at the subsequent edition of the competition in France in 1998. Having started his career with stationery stores of Lagos in 1980, Rufai was one of the earliest footballers in Nigeria to go professional, playing in many European countries including Belgium, Spain, Portugal and the Netherlands, bringing honor to the nation and opening a new window of opportunities for young footballers in Nigeria, President Tinubu says. After he retired from active football, Peter, a prince of the royal house in Adimu, Lagos, set up the Starroof Football Academy, where he continued to inspire, mentor and nurture young footballers. President Tinubu prays for comfort for all who mourn Rufai's loss and for the repose of Rufai Su. July 3, 2025 was more or less like a Black Thursday for football lovers across the globe as the death of the Nigerian legend comes as a dark day for the global football community, It also coincided with the sudden passing of a Portugal-born Liverpool forward, Diogo Jota, who died in a car crash in Spain alongside his brother. Multiple reports indicated that Peter Rufai passed away in the early hours of Thursday after a prolonged illness, according to close family and friends. A post on the official Super Eagles X page also confirmed the death. Forever in our hearts, Dodo Mayana. We mourn the passing of legendary Super Eagles goalkeeper, Peter Rufai, a giant of Nigerian football and a 1994 AFCON champion. Annie Macaulay, the one that may be a good example of the statement her yet-to-be officially divorced husband and apparent king of women love affairs, Innocent Idibia aka Two-Face, Barber, who had said in a recent podcast interview that man can love one woman but for lovemaking, man is not built for one woman, a statement that is probably a fact of how he was seemingly and truly in love with just Annie Macaulay, but he was sleeping around with other women, and got Sumbo Ajaba and Pero Adeniyi pregnant that gave birth to his first son and daughter respectively, while he only got married to Annie Macaulay legally and traditionally. On Thursday, Annie Macaulay took to her social media handles with a video and photographs of her 11-year-old daughter, Olivia Idibia's graduation ceremony to say, being a mum is her best part in life, making the statement amidst family and some members of the public's concerns over the love affair between Edo State lawmaker, Honorable Natasha Asawaru and Two-Face Idibia, which Two-Face younger brother, Charles Idibia aka Charlie Brave, said Two-Face has only moved out from a frying pan that almost killed him to an industrial furnace that will completely destroy him and his legacy, directly and indirectly accusing Natasha Asawaru as a bad wife-to-be, specifically saying his elder brother should stayed off from the love affair with Natasha Asawaru and give himself a time to heal. In quotes, Annie Macaulay said, "Best part of my life is being a mom. My 11-year-old superstar at official Olivia Idibia is graduating into high school. Graduated with 3 awards, Best in Reading, Writing and Storytelling. See me, see Godu." In the video, Olivia Idibia was seen smiling almost all through with her astonishing brown skin beauty, with her endless smiles and romantic gesture displays apparently looking attractive and eye-catching to many like her father. Two-Face's shining brown skin, bald head and sexy lips seem romantically and apparently causing some women some levels of affections. It would be recalled that we had reported that, after watching his elder brother, Innocent Idibia aka Two-Face, Barber took to Instagram social media early morning midnight on Wednesday to post a video of him, Two-Face, apologizing to Natasha Asawaru and the general public over the opinion he had expressed in a podcast interview. The African Queen music maestro's younger brother, Charles Idibia aka Charlie Brave, also took to Instagram nearly around noon on Wednesday to narrate how his elder brother, Two-Face, is currently and allegedly living in bondage in the hand of Natasha Asawaru, specifically stating that it was Natasha Asawaru who used Two-Face's social media handle to announce to the public Two-Face's marriage breakup with Annie Macaulay, adding, Natasha Asawaru do go through Two-Face's phone, deleting WhatsApp messages she does not like, narrating also how Natasha Asawaru allegedly impersonated Two-Face by thus writing on Two-Face's social media page, where the allegedly impersonated Two-Face was seen to have asked the general public to help him beg Natasha Asawaru to marry him. Charles Idibia said, his elder brother, Barber, has moved from a frying pan that almost killed him to an industrial furnace that will completely destroy him and his. Operatives of the Edo State Police Command of the Nigeria Police Force have arrested one Bello Salami at the Benin airport, renamed as Ober Akanzua 2 Airport, while the suspected member of Mafite's secret cult group was trying to flee the state after he was allegedly involved in the killing of 3 persons said to be members of the state vigilante group in the ongoing rising cult war in Edo State, where many people have been killed in recent weeks in areas like Auchi and Benin City, the state capital. According to the Edo State Police Command in a statement issued and made available by the command spokesperson, Moses Yamu on Thursday evening, the fight against cultism and other heinous crimes in Edo State and the bid to restore confidence in the public has been further demonstrated by the Edo State Police Command with the recent successes recorded across the state, especially with the arrest of one Bello Salami, 33 years, member of the Maphite confraternity who was fingered in the recent killing of 3 vigilante members along Wire Road in Benin City. The suspect, a confessed Maphite, was arrested on the 28th of June 2025 at about 10 o'clock hours at the Benin airport, while attempting to flee the state. In another development, on the 26th of June 2025 at about 1500 hours, while acting on credible intelligence, operatives of the Aduawa division arrested the duo of Abdullahi Eriamieta, 18 years, and Moses Humphrey, 25 years, all members of the Vikings confraternity. On the same date at about 1800 hours, operatives of the South Ibi division arrested one Ahmed Hakim, 23 years, a member of the AA confraternity. Further investigation led to the arrest of Williams Kayode, 25 years, David Sylvester, 21 years, Osho Kitepu, 22 years, Emmanuel Monday, 27 years, and Daniel Ehishioya, 21 years, all residents of South Ibi in Etsako West local government area, as well as the recovery of 1 shotgun, 4 live cartridges, 2 battle axes, 1 cutlass, a bunker of ice, an illicit drug in their possession. All of them have confessed to being members of the AA confraternity. Similarly, operatives of Arua division led by the DPO acting on actionable intelligence arrested one Ogbe Osigele, 29 years, of Ebhokulik Poma at Adumbo Arua with a cut-to-size shotgun and 2 live cartridges. Efforts are ongoing to apprehend one Odion Osigele and 2 others now at large, who are also members of the AA confraternity. In the same vein, on the 28th of June 2025, operatives of the Ikpoma Area Command tracked and arrested one Ichua Odion, 22 years, at a hotel in Ikpoma, through credible information. Upon immediate search of his vehicle, an unregistered ash-colored Lexus RX 350, 1 fabricated pistol with 2 live cartridges were recovered. The suspect confessed to be the Essen area zonal leader, that is, number 1 of Neo-Black Movement, NBM, aka Black Axe Confraternity. While on the 29th of June 2025 at about 1500 hours, operatives of the Jatu division raided a flashpoint along Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has commended and praised the efforts of personnel at the Israel Institute for Intelligence and Special Operations, known in Hebrew word as Mossad, over the fall of Bashar al-Assad regime in Syria early December 2024, apparently corroborating the statement issued by the Iran Supreme Leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, in late December 2024 that the fall of President al-Assad regime was a plan orchestrated by Israel and the United States, US, under the leadership of then-President Joe Biden. This, Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the 68th session of the United Nations General Assembly on October 1, 2013, said that Iran directly participated in Assad's murder and massacre of tens of thousands of innocent men, women and children in Syria, used chemical weapons against its own people, and in 2010, the ousted Syrian President Bashar al-Assad had accused Israel of avoiding peace, and Syrian Foreign Minister Walid Muallim warned that in the event of a future war, Israeli cities would be targeted by Syrian missiles, an action Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu believed to be the underground work of Iran's Supreme Leader, Ayatollah Khamenei. He had accused severally of being the root cause of war in the Middle East, specifically stating at the 68th session of the UN Assembly that, some 2,500 years ago, the great Persian King Cyrus ended the Babylonian exile of the Jewish people. He issued a famous edict in which he proclaimed the right of the Jews to return to the land of Israel and rebuild the Jewish temple in Jerusalem. That's a Persian decree, and thus began an historic friendship between the Jews and the Persians that lasted until modern times. But in 1979 a radical regime in Tehran tried to stamp out that friendship. As it was busy crushing the Iranian people's hope for democracy, it always led wild chants of death of the Jews. Now, since that time, presidents of Iran have come and gone. Some presidents were considered moderates, other hardliners, but they've all served that same unforgiving creed, that same unforgiving regime, that creed that is espoused and enforced by the real power in Iran, the dictator known as the Supreme Leader, first Ayatollah Khomeini and now Ayatollah Khamenei. Israel Policy Forum, in a publication published in December 2024, stated that the new Syria presents fresh challenges for Israel, stating that the Turkey-backed Sunni jihadist group, Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, HTS, was an al-Qaeda's former Syrian branch, and its leader, Abu Muhammad al-Golani, also known as Ahmed Hussein al-Shara, who is the current president of Syria, was a member of an early version of the Islamic State, saying, Jolani's chosen last name also foreshadows conflict over territory, that his family hails from the Golan Heights, which Israel partly occupied after the 1973 war and annexed in 1981. According to the publication, the Israel Policy Forum said, the Syrian civil war entered a new and uncharted phase this weekend with the shocking fall of Bashar al-Assad's 24-year dictatorship. A loose alliance of Anambra State Command of the Nigeria Police Force has attributed the cause of mass killing or massacre of a particular ethnic group of Ebonyi indigenes at Ogboji community in Arumba South local government area of the state on Monday at the late hour of the every Monday sit-at-home most people in the southeast states used as meeting days to an internal crisis, rocking members of the Association of the Ebonyi Development Town Union in Anambra State, with the Commissioner of Police, Ikioye Oratugu, stating in a statement issued after he personally visited the scene of crime on Wednesday that the group attacked were members of the factional union of Ebonyi people living in Ogboji, with the survivors' testimonies suggesting that the massacre was initially an assassination plot targeted at the factional leader of the group, but, after the suspected assassins identified and shot dead the leader of the Ebonyi Union factional group, the gang leader of the suspected assassins ordered his men to shoot at everyone already lying face down, probably because almost all of them refused to point or show the suspected assassins the leader of the factional Ebonyi group, while some of the survivors said they thought the suspected assassins, who came with 2 white Sienna minivans, were security operatives who came only to scatter the meeting. According to the State Police Command spokesperson, SP Tochukwu Akenga, in an interview on Thursday, NDI Anambra did not murder Ebonyi indigenes in the state. The culprits are criminals hiding under the umbrella of the good people of Ebonyi Town Union in Ogboji, Arumba South local government area, that committed the cowardly act. We already have one suspect in custody and shall definitely hunt others down. One of the survivors, who spoke in his native language at the hospital bed, narrated how he was shot twice to force him to reveal the identity of the leader of the group, which, according to the survivor, the suspected assassins mentioned the full name of their target and shot him first time and threatened to kill him if he refused to show them the person, and after killing their target, Augustin Odogwu, the suspected assassins shot him again the second time. Details of the survivors' statements as transcribed and translated by Punch newspaper are presented below. A survivor of the massacre of Ebonyi indigenes in Ogboji, Anambra State, has shared a harrowing account of how gunmen turned a peaceful community meeting into a bloodbath, killing at least 11 people and injuring many others. Onuoha Godwin, a member of the Ebonyi State Welfare Association in Ogboji, narrowly escaped with his life after sustaining gunshot wounds to his hand and stomach. Speaking from his hospital bed, Godwin described the terrifying moment armed men invaded their monthly meeting and opened fire indiscriminately. A video of his testimony, delivered in his native dialect, has since gone viral on social media. Godwin, who hails from Inimagu, Ikwo local government area of Ebonyi State, recounted that the attackers struck as the group was about to conclude its general meeting. We used to have our meeting 2 times a month. That day was our general meeting of Ebonyi State Welfare Association in Ogboji, he said, his voice faint but steady. Towards evening, when we were about closing the meeting, some people carrying guns came in. We thought they were policemen who came for mass arrests. We didn't know they were on a mission to kill.
After watching his elder brother, Innocent Idibia aka Two-Face, Barber took to Instagram social media early morning midnight on Wednesday to post a video of him, Two-Face apologizing to Natasha Osawaru and the general public over the opinion he had expressed in a podcast interview. The African Queen music maestro's younger brother, Charles Idibia aka Charlie Brave, also took to Instagram nearly around noon on Wednesday to narrate how his elder brother, Two-Face, is currently and allegedly living in bondage in the hand of Natasha Osawaru, specifically stating that it was Natasha Osawaru who used Two-Face's social media handle to announce to the public Two-Face's marriage breakup with Annie Macaulay, adding, Natasha Osawaru do go through Two-Face's phone, deleting WhatsApp messages she does not like, narrating also how Natasha Osawaru allegedly impersonated Two-Face by thus writing on Two-Face's social media page, where the allegedly impersonated Two-Face was seen to have asked the general public to help him beg Natasha Osawaru to marry him. This, Charles Idibia said, his elder brother, Barber, has moved from a frying pan that almost killed him to an industrial furnace that will completely destroy him and his career legacy. In the lengthy statement, Charles Idibia said, to my dear official Barber, there are not enough words in English to express how much I love you, so I won't even try. To the gentle, kind, loving, peaceful being, to the guy who would not intentionally hurt a fly, who would take losses in several businesses just to avoid any form of confrontations, who makes sure everyone around is comfortable even though he is not alright, who gets mute and watches himself being painted as the bad guy just to protect the same person painting him as the bad guy. To the guy who I would dare to describe as the modern-day Jesus Christ from Nigeria, because of how innocent and pure your heart is, but you will also be crucified by religious standards, to the most insanely talented musician that has ever graced my ears. I beg you today, to wake up. It can never be a crime to save yourself, to move on from where you were almost losing your life and soul, but you haven't moved on, you have been captured from inside the frying pan to an industrial furnace, so my heart bleeds. It's one thing for a girlfriend to snoop in your phone and read messages out of curiosity or for other relationship reasons, it can even come off as cute, but a girlfriend who breaks into your phone to announce your divorce, because she had doubts about you going through with it, who posts and deletes a picture of herself on your socials and asks Nigerians to help you beg her to marry her while you sleep, who clones your WhatsApp, deletes messages she doesn't like and replies messages pretending to be you to steamroll her agendas. A control freak inside your emails and your accounts, who convinces you to abandon your management and businesses in Lagos and move to Abuja, just to become her arm candy and dragged all over Benin and to places the real you will definitely not go. Who would make you defend lies and tolerate chaos, who would sabotage your business trips, who would do a whole lot of rubbish I will not mention here out of shame, and hide under your name, who would adopt your surname, tell strangers, and whoever can.
In April 2025, Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu traveled to the United States, US and held meetings with President Donald Trump, only returned from the official trip and intensified more aggressive military campaigns in Gaza and staged a military confrontation with Iran, which led to the killing of almost 1,000 Iranians in a 12-day war with the Islamic country. This, on Tuesday, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu told his cabinet members that he will travel to the US next week to hold very important security meetings with President Donald Trump and the US lawmakers amongst others, while specifically telling the cabinet members that the details of the scheduled meetings are things he cannot reveal at the briefing. According to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, I am due to leave next week for meetings in the US with US President Donald Trump, Vice President Vance, Secretary of State and National Security Advisor Marco Rubio, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, the President's envoy to the Middle East, Steve Witkoff, the Commerce Secretary. We have several items to close beforehand in order to reach the trade agreement, and several additional matters. Meetings with congressional and Senate leaders and security meetings which I will not detail here. These come in the wake of the great victory that we achieved in Operation Rising Lion. Taking advantage of the success is no less an important part of achieving the success. On two issues, I would like to thank you, ministers of the government. You are doing the work, you have done, and are doing, critical work to realize these achievements. Of course, I would like to expedite the rebuilding, which includes almost all, if not all, of the ministries here. I think that there is great value in this, that there should be a unification of forces here. This finds expression among the people, but also in the government and the Knesset. I must also say something about the opposition, which during the Great Challenge, lined up, almost all of them. This is important and I hope that it will be preserved as a compass for the future. In any case, each and every one of you has my gratitude for the exceptional cooperation and for the excellent work. Thank you very much. While the Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu meeting at the Kirya in Tel Aviv, with the IDF General Staff Forum, together with Defense Minister Israel Katz and IDF Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Eyal Zamir, the Prime Minister commended the Major Generals of the IDF for their part in Operation Rising Lion in Iran and thanked them for their contribution to ensuring the eternity of Israel. Personally, I would like to express immense appreciation and gratitude to you Defense Minister Israel Katz, to you IDF Chief of Staff Eyal Zamir and to you, the members of the General Staff Forum for perfectly executing the missions that we set. A people that rises up as a lion, and much more. Over the centuries of our exile, the Jewish people lost the ability to oppose those who attacked it. We became as a leaf driven in the wind, a people that experienced exile, pogroms, murders and, in the end, the worst act of murder in history. When the fathers of Zionism arose approximately 130 years ago, most of them did not think that the attack
Africa Queen Maestro, Innocent Idibia aka Two-Face, Two-Barber may be one of the people on earth that practices what he preaches, with his current sermons while speaking on the latest episode of the 234 Imzansi podcast hosted by Annie Emanuel known as Nedu Wazobia and others, giving vivid picture of what he has been and who he really is, clearly and distinctly telling the general public that a man can truly be in love with one woman he actually loves so passionately, but a man is not born or built to make love with just one woman. This statement obviously and apparently defines who Two-Face really is, as it may be interesting to know that Two-Face has eldest son and daughter who are less than 4 months older than each other from two different women. Sambo Ajaba and Pero Adonii, the seemly women affair maestro, was making love with both women while he seems to be passionately in love with Annie Macaulay, who his fans and the general public know more about until January 15, 2006. Sambo Ajaba gave birth to Two-Face's first son, Nino, and less than 4 months after, Pero Adonii in April 27, 2006 gave birth to the Adoma-born king of Afropop first daughter, Ehiko Oicho, and for years, Two-Face Idibia only married one woman he probably truly loved, Annie Macaulay, until January 2025 Two-Face Idibia announced an end to his 12 years marriage with Annie Macaulay and apparently switched his heart to another woman, an Edo-born lawmaker, Natasha Asawaru Igbenedian, who although appears to be the current only one woman Two-Face Idibia truly loved, but the Africa Queen music maestro may not deny making love with other women, like he said in 2006. The Africa Queen heart-melting love song released in 2004 that elevated and took Nigeria and Africa music to global stage, or to be more widely accepted internationally, can be sang to any woman. Two-Face Idibia is blessed with 7 children from 3 women, Sambo Ajaba, Nino, born January 15, 2006, and Zion, born April 29, 2008, Pero Adonii, Ehiko Oicho, born April 2006, Justin, 2008, and Alaulu Akitan, 2012, and Annie Macaulay Idibia, Isabella, born December 10, 2008, and Olivia, born January 3, 2014. The children look more like Two-Face facially and bodily. All the 3 women started their childbearing with Two-Face Idibia, and Natasha Asawaru Igbenedian is believed to be an already single mother of 10-year-old son before her flower of love was plucked by Two-Face. Two-Face Idibia posted a video on his official Instagram page, and the video was reposted on a TikTok handle named Honorable Natasha. suspected to be one of the social media handles of Honorable Natasha Asawaru Igbenedian on Wednesday early morning. Two-Face Idibia in the video was seen apologizing for saying man can truly love one woman but a man is not built for one woman. The handler of the TikTok page, Honorable Natasha, stated in the description section of the video post that, "A man who apologizes shows maturity, not weakness. It means they choose accountability over pride." And
Barrister Afeni Ejiofor, the former lawyer to the detained Biafra Republic agitation leader, Nnamdi Kanu, has called on Anambra state government under the leadership of Governor Charles Chukwuma Soludo and security agencies in the state to conduct a thorough investigation into the killing of 13 Ebonyi indigenes by yet-to-be-identified gunmen while the victims were having an end-of-month meeting at a location in Ogboji community, Arumba South local government area of Anambra State on Monday evening. It was gathered that the incident occurred around 5 to 7 p.m. on Monday when the unknown gunman invaded the venue of the meeting with two sport utility vehicles, SUV, and ordered the people at the meeting to lie face down and demanded for the group minutes of meeting before the unknown gunman opened fire on the victims, with 13 of them reportedly killed, which the Anambra State Police Command of the Nigeria Police Force confirmed 10 persons to be dead during the attack, stating, "Others sustained injuries." Residents from Oba community in Idemili local government area, a suburb of the Nigeria commercial city of Onitsha in Anambra State, also on Monday reported a case that a group of armed men in SUV vehicles were seen chasing after a young man along the Onitsha-Owerri road at about the same time of 5 p.m. According to the residents, the armed men succeeded in taking away the man after he could no longer run and surrendered to the gunman, who had made an attempt to shoot him around Rojeni Tourist Game Village's vehicle U-turn point along the Onitsha-Owerri road. According to Barrister Afeni Ejiofor, it is with an overwhelming sense of grief, deep outrage, and utter condemnation that I address the tragic, senseless, and cold-blooded massacre of 13 defenseless and law-abiding Nigerians of Ebonyi state origin, brutally murdered in Ogboji town, Anambra State, on the 30th day of June, 2025. This reprehensible and cowardly act, targeted at innocent citizens who merely assembled for a lawful meeting, constitutes not only a direct affront to their fundamental human rights but an assault on the collective conscience of our nation. It is a grim reminder of the deteriorating state of security across the country and a further indictment of the prevailing failure to guarantee the sanctity of human life. The right to life, freedom of movement, peaceful assembly, and the liberty to reside and engage in lawful activities in any part of the country are constitutional guarantees enshrined under the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as amended. The heinous killing of these harmless individuals is, therefore, a grievous violation of these sacred rights and an intolerable affront to the principles of justice, unity, and peaceful coexistence. I unequivocally condemn this dastardly act in the strongest possible terms and demand that the Anambra state government, alongside all relevant security agencies, immediately commence a thorough, transparent, and independent investigation into this tragic incident. The perpetrators of this barbaric crime must be identified, apprehended, and subjected to the full weight of the law, no matter how highly placed or shielded they may appear to be. We insist that the findings of the investigations must not be shrouded in secrecy. Justice must not only be done but must be seen to be done. Men of the Nigeria police force in Imo State have arrested a 42-year-old woman, Ngozi Enyenwa, during a stop-and-search operation with 12 little children allegedly stolen while she was on the road to Abia State, where she had planned to use the alleged stolen children for street begging. Imo State Police Command, in a news release made available at the weekend by the Command Public Relations Officer, DSP Okoye Henry, said the arrest of the woman has led to the discovery of a child trafficking network that exploits minors for street begging in Aba in Abia State. In the statement, the police said, the Imo State Police Command, through an intelligence-led stop-and-search operation, has arrested one Ngozi Enyenwa, 42 years old, of Amudum Ohakelem in Ngor, Okpala local government area, and rescued 12 suspected stolen children on the 20th of June 2025 along the Owerri-Aba Express Road. This arrest led to the uncovering of a disturbing child trafficking network that exploited minors for street begging in Abia State. Upon her arrest, the suspect was found with several children whose appearance and condition immediately aroused suspicion. Consequently, the case was referred to the IGPX Squad Unit for discreet investigation. During interrogation, the suspect confessed to trafficking children from Ngor Okpala local government area to Aba, where they were coerced into street begging. She further disclosed that proceeds from their activities were allegedly sent to Shalom Motherless Babies Home in Okanyi, Esh local government area, Rivers State, where she claimed to be employed. As a result of the operation, 12 children between the ages of 5 and 13 were rescued. Their alleged names are as follows: Chinyere Naralis, 10, Favor Madufa, 13, Ugochi Pius, 13, Afeni Pius, 9, Favor Timothy, 10, Solomon Iheki Shinuike, 7, Chinaza Madufa, 10, Neoma Timothy, 9, Promise Majuenyenwa, 5, Gospel Chabuk, 9, Shindu Majuenyiwa, 11, and Chinonso Paul, 10, all from various communities in Ngor Okpala local government area. Presently, the children are currently in safe custody, and efforts are ongoing in collaboration with relevant agencies to identify and reunite them with the biological families. Meanwhile, the command urges members of the public who recognize any of the rescued children or have helpful information about their identities or families to come forward and assist the police. Reports can be made at the X Squad Unit or via the following numbers: 08034773600 or 0816-008-7155. The Commissioner of Police, CP Aboki Danjuma, condemns all forms of child trafficking and reiterates his unwavering commitment to safeguarding the rights and dignity of every child in the state. Investigations are ongoing, and further updates will be provided in due course. Meanwhile, the Imho State Police Commissioner, Aboki Danjuma, has intensified efforts to push its men on stop and search duties on the road to be more professional while doing the job, with reports accompanied with photographs and videos evidence showing the Commissioner of Police.
Osazuwa Radio, bringing you the news in a more digital way.